Hello, everyone. Mike Lagerquist here from Vine Faith in Action. We have today with us some representatives from the League of Women Voters, including Lynn Solo, who will be presenting and giving us those last little details, if we have not made our plan yet to vote, how we can do so before or during the election on November 3rd. So I will step aside and hand it off to Lynn Solo.
Thanks, Mike. Nice to be here. A little bit about me is that I have been president of the St. Peter League of Women Voters since 2014. I'm a retired public health nurse for Nicollet County, and I've lived here in North Mankato for something like 37 years, and I'm also a member of Vine. One of the other people on with us today is Phyllis Anderson, a member of the League, but also Phyllis and I, in days gone by, when we didn't have a pandemic, would spend our Monday afternoons at Vine playing Mahjong. Mira, I've known for some years, and we also have Renita Goodrich. And Renita, hello. And did I pronounce your name correctly? Is it Renita or Renata or something else?
It's Renita.
Okay, thanks. So that's us. And a couple of objectives. I'm just hoping that everyone here will vote, and anyone listening at home will vote, and also that you should vote as informed citizens. I've gathered some questions that it came from someone who was interested in attending but was not able to attend. Also, I think Mira garnered some of these from her memoir writing group. So I'll go over those questions, but I want to add any. Renita, did you have any questions that you wanted to get answered here this morning?
Not that I can think of. I don't have any questions.
Okay, and if you run across any as they come along, as we go along, just holler, okay? So one person was wondering about the school board election, and why is it this year? Why didn't it happen last year? What happened is that in years past, not many people voted in the school board election. It was held in the off years, and it just sort of got pushed aside. People just didn't think about it. So they looked at moving it to a year where everyone hopefully would be voting, or at least lots more people would be voting, and that the school board would then get more attention. It was also a financial thing because apparently it takes about $60,000 for the school district to put on an election, and the school district runs the election. Now, it would be nice if someone else could run the election, and so this year it's just on the regular ticket, and it's the county and the state paying for the election, not the school board. So they were trying to save some money there. This year we are electing 4 board members. We have 1 incumbent running for office and 3 open seats. So with 3 open seats, that's really an attraction for anyone who has been looking at issues in the school district. I understand that already last year, before they announced that they were going to move the election to this year, that there were people already interested in the school board and attending the school board meetings. So this year we have, I'm guessing, some of those who have come back this year. It's a whole lot of candidates, and it's difficult to sort through all of them. And from people I've talked to, that's the one issue, or the one seat that's up that so many people are interested in. What the league has done is made a videotape of each of the school board candidates spending 3 minutes talking about themselves and why they are running for school board and what makes them a particularly good candidate. That is up on KTV, and in a few minutes I'll get to information on how to view that on KTV. You can view it online or go to the actual TV station. Another thing, and here's a plug for tomorrow, Saturday, October 10th, we are holding a meet and greet outdoors at Spring Lake Park in, let's see, shelters 1 and 2. The best place to park is off of Webster Avenue, and that open house will go from 1 to 3 Saturday afternoon. We have invited all of the candidates to come and be there. We'll assign them each a table and they can interact with any of the voters who come to chat with them. As a extra draw for families with children, there is a playground located between the two shelters, so the kids can go play and the parents can talk to the voters, to the candidates. One word about the videotape. We did invite all of the candidates to come. 3 people were not able or did not come. So there's that little thing about the school board. Dates to keep in mind. October 13th, next Tuesday, is the last day to register to vote. If you didn't register but you want to vote, it's time to, after the Tuesday, you'll need to go to the elections office beforehand to register and vote, or do it on the election day, November 3rd. Someone asked when are ballots counted, and it's a little different this year. Ballots in Minnesota are counted, will start being counted 2 weeks before election day. So if you have an absentee ballot and you've already sent it in but changed your mind, then you need to quick check your elections office, call them up and ask them to take back your ballot, and they'll tell you what you need to do from there. So hopefully in Minnesota, by the time election day comes along, a good number of ballots will already have been counted. And then of course there's election night when they start sending them in directly from the polls. We usually, or we're used to getting results by midnight of the day of the election. That's not going to happen this year, just because there are so many absentee ballots. It will take time to count them all. I think we're ahead of the game in Minnesota, but I can only speak for Minnesota. I don't know how things are going to go for other states, so there's that. As far as election absentee ballots go, someone asked if it's too late to request an absentee ballot. Well, it's not, but you really need to get going if you haven't already requested it. And I think that most people who are listening to this probably are folks who are used to using their computer. Since you need a computer to get to this recording, do it immediately. As soon as this is over, please ask for your election, for your ballot, and you can do that online. There's one thing to keep in mind about returning your ballot. It's according to some guidelines, not just guidelines, according to policy set forth by the Minnesota Secretary of State. It's okay, your ballot will get counted if it is postmarked by November 3rd and received in the elections office by November 10th. Now, we all know that postal services seem to be slowing down. If you really want to be sure that that ballot gets there, postmark it just like now. I mean, get it done now. For the primary election, the secretary was recommending that you get those in the mail a week before the actual primary election. So keep that in mind. The other thing to keep in mind is that this advanced dates, being able to have it postmarked by the 3rd and until the 10th to get to the elections office is an issue that is in court right now. It's in a federal court. I don't know if that's going to that could get knocked out. I don't know. So just a little thing to keep in the back of your mind, that could go away. I saw recently there's another state where that option got panned by a court. So keep your eyes on the news. Let's see what happens after Election Day. And I got a little flip here. I said, who knows in this political climate? Well, the ballots get counted. There's the electors will meet on, I believe it's December 14th. The question is, how long can ballot counting go on? That was something that came up in was it the 2000 election, the Gore versus Bush with the hanging chads? I don't remember. I see Mira shaking her head, but yeah, it was one of those. So who knows? Just checking my time here. Ways to vote. I want to connect you with minnesotavotes.org. Did I click on there? Let me try that again. There we go. It's a wonderful, wonderful website. It's the official website of the Secretary of State. When you go to mnvotes.org, you can see all kinds of things. Register to vote, election day voting, other ways to vote, what's on my ballot. There's just so much there. Anything that you ever want to know about voting is right there on this website. So mark that down. It's a pretty important thing. Another one that we have, and this is the League. This is the League of Women Voters. It's the state website. And right now we have on it how to be a voter. Choose an option. Do you want to vote from home? And as I said, that window is fast closing. And we are actually on Monday going to pull all of our materials advocating for voting from home out of places we've put them, like libraries, community centers, that sort of thing. I have a sign in my front yard that says vote from home. I'm going to take that down on Sunday night, just because that window to vote from home is closing. If you do want to vote from home and you're watching this and want to quick find out how to do that, this is where to go. You can click on vote from home, and as it starts with frequently asked questions, goes all the way down to how to confirm that you are a registered voter, how to do it online, how to get the paper form. Paper form now is, as far as time constraints go, to send in a paper by mail and then have to wait for it to get to your elections office and then for them to send out your ballot is really, that's pushing it. If you're going to vote from home, I recommend doing it, getting the request in online. Tells you how to request your ballot, tips, and one of the tips, and that says this several times, leave plenty of room, plenty of time. Tells you about how to vote and all about the different envelopes that you have on that come with your ballot, and how to make sure you get it returned. Tips, again, leave plenty of time. So this is a really quick go through, but as you go through it, you're going to find that there are multiple links to that other website that I just showed you about. Let's see, we'll find one. Okay, witnesses. Where's my ballot? And if some people are wondering that, you can click from the league's website and directly over to exactly where you need to be to track your ballot. So there's this bit of information. Also, then there's the vote in person. And right now, we really are moving towards early voting in person. As I've been saying several times, the voting from home absentee voting window is quickly closing. So how do you do it now? What if you've already ordered an absentee ballot and you're sitting there with it and haven't filled it out yet? Well, number one, either get it mailed today, or for instance, in my case, and Mira, I think you're in the same boat as my husband and I, that we live in North Mankato. We are going to be electing a mayor and 2 city council people, and we're not having our candidate forum until Tuesday, the 13th. Well, I'm not going to vote until after that Tuesday, the 13th forum, because I haven't decided yet who I'm going to vote for. So what we're going to do is on the morning of the 14th is fill out our ballots and get in the car and drive them up to Nicollet County Government Center up there on Minnesota Avenue, 169, and vote up there. They have curbside voting and drop off, so we'll drop off our ballots right there. So when it comes to voting early, you can vote early in person, and there are multiple places around these days that you can do that in Blue Earth County. And Renita, where do you live? Are you in Blue Earth or Nicollet County?
I'm in Blue Earth County.
Okay, so you have a couple of options if you haven't voted yet. You can go to the old courthouse, which sits up there on the hill. Well, not hilltop, but I think of it as a hill. The building with Lady Justice on top of it. And in the parking lot, they've set up this booth where you can drop off your ballot, or you can vote early, just right there from the curbside. So that's one way that you can do right now that is open. Then starting on, I think it's the 14th, there will be another site on Map Drive in the old MRCI building. And you can go there and the same thing. You can vote early or drop off your absentee ballot. Then if you live in, it's Lake Crystal, or there's one other, let me find that. What's the other town? Mapleton and Lake Crystal City Halls will also have places that you can get help voting, both drop off and early voting at those places. So in Blue Earth County, you have a lot of ways to vote early when there's not as much of a rush, everyone being there at the polling place at the same time. In Nicollet County, Uh, we'll go up to the government center, that's the old courthouse that's sitting right there on 169, and we'll drop off our ballots there. As far as I know, right now, that's the only place in Nicollet County to vote early. So let's see, where were we? Did I lose my notes? Well, there we go. Okay, so this is, again, we're back to the website from the League of Women Voters. Learn about your ballot. All right, let's talk about that for a minute. The League of Women Voters has a website, or supports a website, that is called vote411.org. Oh, I don't have that link here, do I? Okay, let me see if this works. Let me just do this. No, okay, I'm going to get a second window up here and go to immediately. All right, if you're wondering who's on your ballot, you can look that up on the Secretary of State's website. If you want to know something about your candidates who are on your ballot, you can get personalized voting information at vote411.org. In years past, the League had a voter's guide, and I remember when I was a kid in high school being given this paper, several pages long, maybe 4 or 6 pages long, of voting information about the candidates, much like what the Free Press does. And the League would hand those out and get them to kids at school who would hopefully bring them home to their parents. And I remember bringing that information home to my mother, who was very happy to receive it because she didn't know anything about the candidates. There wasn't the whole TV and the websites and all of that. But these days, we now have that same information, but it's up on the website, vote411.org. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to enter my particular information. So I'm at 726 GRA, and Avenue, City, Cato, select a state. Let's find Minnesota here somewhere. Zip code 56003, and I will, okay, and that brings me to this page. Special for my own personal address. Find what's on your ballot. I'm going to explore now. And here we go. If we want to watch candidate videos, we can do that there. Also, we can go to my races, and here's what's on my ballot. And I'm going to skip down here to the school board and click on that, and bingo, here's a place where we, the League of Women Voters of St. Peter, has placed questions for the school board. Our candidates can go onto this site and tell a little bit about themselves. And you can see that we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of our school board candidates have come on and written something about themselves. So that if I click on Jeremiah, who lives just a few blocks from me. I can look there and find all this information that he has presented about his views on the school board. So that's a little way that the league has to get you your information. It's nonpartisan. That's one of the things you can do to get information. Let's see, what's one of the other things? KTV. KTV has been phenomenal as far as recording all of the candidate forums that have gone on and are going on all over town. And the information from KTV and those forums you can watch, go to either KTV on your cable TV, or you can watch on YouTube. And if I click on that, bingo, I get KTV and all of the various forms that they have done. So that over here we have the Mankato School Board. I can click on that, and there you go.
And this is just the way I feel.
And there's the first of the candidates that we
I've had some conversations
videotaped.
with current members.
So I will click back out of that. But you can find a whole lot of information. You can find all of these candidate forums. You can spend hours and hours watching them, but choose whichever ones happen to interest you. So that's another place that I think you can go and get a lot of information. I think that's about it. I've been talking for a half an hour. Who has questions?
I did want to mention that we added one more person while you were presenting. So
nice.
Pat Anderson is here.
Okay. Okay, nice. Hi,
Lynn,
Pat.
Hi, Mike.
And Lynn, could you tell us just a little bit about the League of Women Voters? I know it's a nonpartisan group. It's been around a long time. I saw a mention of a centennial in one of your bits of information.
Yes, oops, wait a minute. Did I lose the share thing? I'd like to get out of share. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Stop sharing. There we go. Yeah, a little bit about our organization. Yes, and we're all women here. So all women, no, Mike, sorry.
Except that's all right.
I'm looking at, like, okay. Yeah, so the League of Women Voters in Blue Earth County got started way back in December of 1919, and in Nicollet County in January of 1920. So the league has been around for a long time. And of course, we got started because of the issues of women voting and the passage of the 19th Amendment. And women got started feeling if they're going to be able to vote, well, maybe we better understand what the issues are. So it was really a very much of an educational kind of a thing. And early league members would go out into the country, visit farms and all over the place, and get people signed up to vote. Those early leagues sort of faded out after a while. Then I understand there was a brief resurgence in the 1930s and again in the 40s. Locally, we didn't get totally up to speed until 1963. And in both Mankato and St. Peter, we had leagues started, and we've been going ever since. Oh, well, okay, the St. Peter League has been going ever since. The Mankato League closed somewhere around 26, 20, somewhere around 2006 or 7, somewhere in there. And that happened when our last president moved to Duluth. She was a minister and she got called to Duluth. And so we just dissolved ourselves, and two of us, Diane Norland and I, changed our membership to the St. Peter League. You hear an awful lot about the league whenever election time comes around. We're known for our forums and for our efforts to get out the vote, but the league is active all during the year. Up at St. Paul, we have people who sit in, observe at the different legislative meetings. They go to all of those little backroom things that happen, all the committee meetings, that sort of thing. So we have a loyal core of observers. We also have advocates who are specially trained, and the observers are as well, to go and give testimony at these various meetings, so that we do influence the government up in St. Paul. We can also influence local elections that kind of came out wrong. Local issues. In the past, and we've had observers at City Hall meetings. We haven't lately. It's just something at our last meeting we talked about getting started again. Observers who want to know what exactly is going on locally, and they go to the meetings or watch them on video, and then report back to the league that such and such an issue is going. Do we want to do anything about it? Some of the things that we do, and we have an awful lot of, like 52 pages of league policy, league positions that we've come up with over the years. And the way it works is that if there's an issue, before deciding on a position on that particular issue, the league will hold educational events so that we learn and we study the issue from all different ways, and then vote or come to a consensus about those different issues. So that's kind of the way we work, and that there are leagues on a local, state, and national level. You can be active in any of those levels that you want. Did that kind of answer your question?
Yeah, most definitely. And we, if we don't say it, we appreciate all the work that the League of Women Voters does each 4 years, especially throughout
Yeah.
the year.
Yeah, thank you. Other questions? Is anyone here worried about security?
At the polling places themselves, or?
General election security. I've had a lot of people worried about foul play in absentee voting, whether there's chances that something could be done. Someone could gather up a whole bunch of absentee ballots somehow, or mess with them. I think it's really, really difficult to do. It takes painstaking work if that's what you want to do. When it comes to the absentee ballot, there are 3 different ways that we make sure that what gets turned in is indeed your ballot. One way is that you have to request your ballot using your driver's license or Minnesota ID card, or the last 4 of your social security number. and you use one of those when you request your ballot. When you send in your ballot, you have to put that same number down on the ballot that you're sending in. The other thing is there's a barcode on your absentee ballot, and that has to match with your name and with your ID. So if you've sent in somebody else's barcode, but you used the wrong ID number or something, that's going to be a problem. And the third is you've signed it. So if you're signing somebody else's card, then that's a problem. We do know that people who cheat get caught. There was that poor lady up in St. Peter who had some memory problems and forgot that she had voted absentee just the day before, and on election day, she went to her polling place. It was a beautiful day. I'll take a walk down and vote, and she accidentally voted twice, and she got caught. I don't know what eventually happened in that case. There's a $5,000, no, it's a $10,000 fine or 5 years in prison or both for voting fraud. So that I would hope stops some people from doing that. I really can't talk about what's going on in other states, but I think that in Minnesota, we have a really good, very secure system. I'm pretty pleased with it.
One question that I've thought about myself, I am going to be an election judge again, so I got an absentee ballot. I have not returned that yet, but if I were to decide instead to walk across the street to the historic courthouse and vote in person, should I bring my absentee ballot with me and turn that in so they know that it's out of circulation?
Yes, absolutely. That's what you bring. That's their preference. If somehow you, yes, on election day, if it's someone with an absentee ballot and they haven't yet turned it in, the place to turn it in is the elections office. Don't bring it to your polling place. It goes to the elections office. Oh, something that I didn't talk about is what happens if you were planning on voting at the polling place on election day and suddenly you find yourself quarantined. There is something that you can do about that. And if I can share one more time, let's see, let me bring up. What have I got here? Oh, that's about the school board. Nope, not the one I wanted. No window, and we'll go to MN votes, and we'll go to other ways to vote and go on down here to have an agent pick up your ballot. This will maybe come in handy to anyone who suddenly finds that they're sick on election day. You can ask another person to go to the elections office, pick up a ballot for you, bring it to your home where you vote, and then that agent can take that ballot up to the elections office. That agent needs to be someone who's a registered voter. They have a number of things to sign. This is something you can do if you find yourself in a nursing home, assisted living facility, residential treatment center, a group home, or a battered woman's shelter, or if you're hospitalized, or if you're unable to go to the polling place due to incapacitating health reasons or a disability. And it has been made okay that if you are in quarantine, if you've got COVID, that you can have an agent deliver that ballot to you. So I think this is really cool. It's not, it's just really nice that we have an option for those who find themselves disabled or stuck because of COVID or other reasons. There's a form that you have to download and fill out, and your agent has to take that with him. So it's not an easy thing, but it is an option. And if anyone finds themselves in that position on election day, it's a call to the elections office to kind of get that straightened out. But just something to know about. And the information is right there on the Secretary's website, mnvotes.org.
I had a question. Can
Yeah.
that be early voting or is that just on election day for the agent?
Let me see what it says here. Good question.
Last paragraph looks like it's got that.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Mike. Starting 7 days before the election until 2 p.m. on election day. And it says you must return your ballot by 3 p.m. on election day.
Are many of these options new at this election because of the COVID-19, or have they always been there, just not that popular or familiar to people?
Yeah, I think they've always been there. It's okay. We've the early election. It's only the past, well, probably within the past half dozen. Don't quote me on that. Years that our elections, early voting started 43 days before the election. That gives a lot of people a lot of time to get the job done. Not all states have that generous amount of time. The one thing that is new this year is that you can vote in person. Let me think a minute there. What's new is the ballots get entered. I know what it was. Ballots get entered, start being entered into the machine 2 weeks before. It used to just be 1 week before. And what I had going through my mind is in the last week before the election, you can go vote in person and actually put the ballot in the machine yourself. These things have been around for quite some time. Sorry, I am sucking on lozenge. My voice goes out after a while. What else?
I'm curious, have people here voted early? Have they already voted?
I've already voted,
Okay.
but would have been nice to have more information about the different school board elections. I did research them, but this would have given me a lot more avenues to look at. So I wrote it down. Maybe I'll remember to do that in 4 years.
Okay, there I was looking for the, okay, stop share. Yeah, as I said, I haven't voted yet, and I'm going to hand deliver my vote.
I had a question.
You voted from, you're in a precinct, I think, that always votes absentee or votes by mail. True?
I'm sorry, who's that directed to?
Phyllis.
Oh,
Sorry, I had to unmute. Yes, I did not even have to send for an absentee ballot. Since I moved here and registered, every time there's an election, I get a ballot in the mail. And I have already voted. I decided I should use the US Post Office system, so I did it very quickly and figured they needed a little support because things have been strange lately.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, is it Skyline? And there's a couple of Mankato or Blue County townships that vote
Yes.
only by absentee.
Yep,
Or
yep.
mail-in.
And I'm in LeSueur County,
Okay.
Casota Township.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't see any other questions. Oh, Mira?
Hi, I'm gonna wait to vote after the North Mankato conversations, the forum. But I had a question. You showed us on the League of Women Voters and where we can look for candidates and what they have to say. Is there also a place on the Secretary of State office where there's information about candidates? I know the Free Press, local newspapers sometimes have information.
Right.
I don't remember.
That some of the, on the filing section of the Secretary of State's website, the candidates' filing information is there, and they will put it in their website if they have a website, and you can check out that website if you want. It's a little hard to find. Let me see. I'm going to screen share again, and we'll pull up the. Oh, you don't need to see my email. I'm going to get a new window again. And the address that I use is actually Oop, can't spell this morning. Oh, okay, it had been sort of automatically bringing it up for me. I'll just go to MN Votes. Then I have to move your picture somewhere. And go to. Oh, I know what it was. It was candidate filings. That's what I needed to put. So see, I'm poking around here quite a bit. Move your pictures away.
It just seemed I went somewhere and it was pretty easy to click on some things, but I was looking too, and maybe it wasn't through Secretary of State.
Yeah. Okay, and you have to really look for it.
Yeah, there was something easier, but that, yeah.
Yeah, and
Sorry, I brought it up.
yeah. Then I go all the way here, and I get down to, at least this is the way I find it, and it's kind of a pain. You do better by Googling your candidates and seeing what you can find up about them. Okay, so here we are with the school board people. Here's the information. There's no candidate website, but some of them do have websites. Nope, no, but some, it's not that easy, or at least I haven't found it that easy to get information about the candidates from the secretary's website.
Thank you.
His job is not to help them with their
Campaigns, their elections.
campaigns. It's to just take care of the filings. Okay, I don't have anything more to say.
Okay, well, thank you very much for this very educational presentation. I believe you were going to provide me with some of the links. I will post those on next to the link for this on the Vine page. If you're not familiar with it, go to vinevolunteers.com. Well, of course, most people have gotten it already, but vinevolunteers.com, and then click onto Virtual Vine. At the bottom, we have our link to all of our educational presentations that we have given in the last several months, so you can check it out there.
Okay.
But thank you very much. We look forward to your work every election cycle, and as I say, appreciate what the League of Women Voters do to help keep us educated, especially in these times when it's difficult sometimes to find a nonpartisan source for information. So it's great to know that that is available.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Lynn.
Yep, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Nice
Bye.
to meet you.